Bruh. Like, why are all the freaking gaming mice so expensive, dude? Huh. Oh, what? This is the Rapoo Vt9Pro. It is equipped with a Pixart 3398 sensor rated for 26,000 dpi. It also has a battery life of 160 hours at 1000 polling rate, and it also supports up to 4K polling as well. So not bad at all for what this mouse can do. But the only downside is you would have to purchase the dongle separately for $12 on Amazon, which is kind of a bummer. You can control the liftoff distance from 1 to 2 millimeters, giving you the option to kind of choose in between, which all can be customized on the software. However, the software does not support any other quirks like angle snapping or debounce. I still find it very easy and very customizable. So out of the box, you're actually greeted with the mouse itself, and you have some blue tape on the back, which I did remove for this video. However, the actual matte finish is a little bit slippery in my opinion. In the back, you're able to remove it, and from there, you'll be able to discover the USB dongle, which supports up to 1000 Hz polling rate. Continuing opening the box, you actually do have a wired dongle where you could connect your wireless dongle to, and you also have a very lightweight USB Type-C to USB type cable and a couple of grip tapes, and as well as extra PTFE feet just in case you need some more. The weight of this mouse is 67.5 grams without the dongle and the cover. However, with those included, it will be 71 grams total, and we'll talk about why you should have those in a bit. Okay, now that we've gone over the specs of this mouse, I want to get a little bit more subjective. So the first thing I want to talk about is going to be the overall shape of the mouse. The shape of the mouse is actually very interesting. It is very, very comfortable, feels good on the hand, and it's ideal for palm users or even hybrid users like a claw palm hybrid. However, I can kind of see this as an issue for people who are fingertip users, mainly because of the hump and the side grips. As you can see here, it is protruding out a little bit, and it may not be a big deal for people who are palming this mouse. However, it may be a huge deal for fingertip users, so just an FYI on that. The coating of the mouse is actually very interesting. I did find the coating to be very slippery at times, only when my hands are a little bit clammy or a little bit sweaty when I'm gaming for long gaming hours. I've noticed that it's actually very grippy. Yeah, I would recommend some grip tape because the matte finish of this mouse is, very, very slippery for people with dry or non-sweaty hands. The actual feel of the mouse is kind of plasticky. You can tell it's definitely on the cheaper side. However, despite all that, I did find the actual performance of the mouse to be fairly decent. The switches of the mouse was very light and very tactile and easy to actuate. The scroll wheel was also very good. I did not have any issues. I did have some rattle when I was moving it side to side at times, but overall it did not affect the performance of the mouse entirely. The side buttons definitely did have a little bit of pre-travel, as you can see here. Overall, I did find the buttons to be working perfectly fine. I do like the addition to the DPI buttons in the middle, especially on a gaming mouse that's only $50. Okay, now we're going to talk about the weight of the mouse. Like I said, it's coming in at around 70 grams if you do include the dongle. Only reason why I do decide to leave it on is because it's very top heavy and a little bit unbalanced. I did find having the dongle and the cover to kind of balance the mouse entirely, and it felt very, very natural when playing with this mouse. Now, regarding the performance of the mouse, I have not experienced any issues. Unfortunately, I don't have LiDAR or any type of measuring tool in order for me to check the latency of this mouse. However, I was able to go ahead and check the actual polling rate of this mouse to make sure that it is actually a 4K polling rate, and these are the results. The average polling rate on a 4K dongle at 1080p 144 Hz, I was averaging about 1017 Hz, and the maximum I was getting was 3065. So overall 1080p 144. For some apparent reason, I was getting sporadic results, and unfortunately it was not consistent in 144 Hz, which was kind of odd because as soon as I bumped up to 280 Hz of the monitor, things definitely seemed to level out a little bit. At 280 hertz at 4K, I was averaging about 3035 hertz, and I was getting a maximum of 3575 hertz as well on the polling rate. So I was getting a lot more consistent results. I did kind of feel it to be a little bit more accurate when I was moving the mouse entirely. So it's something to keep in mind if you do have a 144 hertz monitor. I'm not sure if it's just my system, but the 4K dongle does not necessarily do a good job. It's so sporadic and it was very inconsistent. However, if you're shooting above 240 or 280 and up, I did find it to have much better and more wielded results. So I actually wanted to test the wired, and yeah, the wired was very consistent. I was averaging about 969 polling rate on a wired connection, and the max I was getting was about 1005, which is fairly average across the board for any mice that is connected. Now let's talk about my overall experiences and my overall thoughts of this mouse. The overall quality of this mouse was decent considering its $50 price tag. However, I find it baffling that you have to buy a 4K dongle for $12 and a wireless charging plate for $9 and an actual wireless charger. So all in all, you're spending about $72 just to access all the features the mouse offers, which I find to be very greedy and pretty scummy of a corporation or a company to do. Like seriously, like I have to buy DLCs for this mouse in order to get the full experience? Come on. Anyways, the performance of this mouse was actually fairly decent. Obviously, it is not a true 4K polling rate mouse since it averaged about 3000 hertz when gaming. It performed fairly decent at higher refresh rate monitors. So if you have a 144 hertz monitor, sticking to 1K will yield the best results and performance this mouse has to offer. The shape of this mouse was definitely a cross between the Razer Viper V2 and the Logitech G Pro Superlight. It's definitely an interesting shape, which I do enjoy a lot. However, the coating of this mouse kind of tipped the scales for me. It was way too slippery for my liking, and the grip tape provided with this mouse was absolute trash. I would definitely recommend some aftermarket grip tape. I very much like this mouse. Would I recommend it? No. Look, there are other budget mice from reputable brands for around the same price point with slightly better coding, sensors, and software. But if they could just dial in a few of these things in a version 2, I think this mouse poses a serious threat to other more expensive 4K gaming mice for 3 times its price. I'm very happy to see 4K being implemented on budget gaming mice. However, it's not up to standard. I feel like in the future, it will definitely rattle higher echelon brands such as Razer, Logitech, and of course, G-Wolves. So yeah, that's the review. This is my overall thoughts. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button so you guys can watch more videos like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.